Hi there! In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how I did a 1-month shopping ban. There's a lot of YouTube videos going around right now about people who did a full year for a shopping ban, but I created this one for people who want to do something to start that's not super extreme like that, but they can also be able to save money and get their feet into something like this. And so I was able to do this successfully, and in this video I'm going to share you the things that I learned, including the highs and the lows, so you're able to prepare to do this yourself and be successful, because there are some things that are hurdles that you might not expect, that I wasn't expecting, that what I found when I went into this. And so it worked out for me. I'm preparing for a second month of this, but the thing that you really need to do for this to know to really start is what a shopping ban is when you embark on this, you will only be paying for your essentials. And so that is just your rent or housing mortgage, if that's what you have, your car, so for transportation to and from work, and insurances you have, of course, and then also paying for food, of course. And so I'm looking forward to telling you what I learned. So the first thing that I learned in this was how much I can save by walking everywhere, and I actually end up losing weight from this, but it takes a lot of time and planning to do it. So for transportation, I have an unlimited Metro pass because that's what's required for work, and I don't have a Metro or a car in the city. And so I had to look up all my bus transportation routes, all the Metro transportation routes, so it was included. It took me not that much longer than I expected to go everywhere I wanted to. It definitely wasn't super convenient because I had to wait for schedules. I had to download the apps on my phone to see everywhere I needed to go, but it really wasn't that bad at all. I realized that I'm always in such a rush to get everywhere, but that extra 10 to 20 minutes is totally worth it if you're going to save $10 rather than getting an Uber or more if you're going somewhere else. So that was the first thing I learned. I learned with that it does take a lot more planning out of your day, so I spent a lot more time thinking of, okay, how do I get here? Does this make sense to do this in one day? And I would do less in a day, but I did end up losing some weight because I walked a lot, which is a good perk. So that is one thing that you will see if you live in a town and you have a car. You'll have your gas, but you'll just want to strip it down to the bare essentials of where you're traveling to. The second thing I learned is that I have more than enough of what I need, especially in relation to beauty products, because I have I actually have a full cabinet, I should say, of different lotions, face creams, perfumes, body wash, shampoo, conditioner that I do not need, that I have just stored away for no reason whatsoever. And so I learned that I have this impulse habit to always want to buy this, and so I had to curb myself away from places like Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works and all the other amazing stores, TJ Maxx especially, to make sure I don't buy more of those, because I actually have everything I need already. So that was one thing that I realized. I probably saved $80 maybe not 80, but like $50 last month on making sure that I'm not buying those things, because I already have what I need, and it's probably enough to get me through half of my 20s. The other thing I learned is that I already have all the outfits I probably need for any sort of events, but it also helps me be really clear and learn the outfits that I don't have by doing this. And so one of my other addictions, which you'll understand all your shopping addictions and things you like to go for once you do this, is I love to buy clothes so much. I always dream of wearing lots of dresses and going lots of places and wearing a dress in a particular place with particular people, which is why it has to be certain colors. And so I learned that I'm way skewed on dresses and things that I don't wear as often and don't have enough of the essentials. And so in stopping this, I learned how to already pair the things that I have so that I can wear it while I go out, and wear the things that still have tags that I haven't worn in the back of my closet. And that I actually don't need the clothes that I spend $100, maybe sometimes $200 per month on whenever I go shopping because I'm bored. So the good thing that came out of this is you'll definitely curb a shopping addiction like that and come to terms with it. Another thing I learned is that with this, it becomes pretty difficult with your social life. And so for me, it was really hard at first because I kept telling friends all the time. And this was, I would say, the hardest part of doing this, of, oh, I'm doing this right now. I can't spend money when I'm going out. I'm trying to save money to go on a trip or something like that. And so it definitely made it hard on your social life, because you're basically having everybody around you have to adjust their lives in some way to this. And so the thing that I learned from this was, before you go into something like this, make a long list. This was an adjustment for me, but make a long list of lots of free things you can do in your city, and free things that you can do with your friends, or things that are inexpensive. And so now what I learned for me is now is whenever I make plans, I let people know ahead of time. My friends know that I'm saving money right now. And I have like a list of like all the free museums, ideas for picnics, ideas for like hosting and doing like different themed dinners where people like bring different foods that they have, or like do clothing swaps and things like that. And so you have to get pretty creative with your social life, but it is doable. And honestly, there's a lot of things that brought me closer together with people because walks also became super popular. And I just feel like you're more connected whenever you're focusing on the friendship and doing something like a walk versus being with friends who may only want to go out with you because they want to try new places. And so that also became pretty clear. But in the end, I learned that I can actually save quite a bit. And so I would say throughout the whole course of it, I was able to save about $1,000, which is crazy because I thought this would be impossible. And I didn't even realize how much money I had if I was conscious of where I'm spending things outside of like my bills and utilities and things I must pay every month. And so it was kind of empowering to see that if you're in a pinch, you can make that money there. And if you are behind on retirement savings or savings for an emergency fund, which I have other videos on that I'll talk about more, that you can get it done. You have the ability to do it. You have money coming in and it doesn't have to just disappear. You are in control of it if you're really conscious about doing nothing at first and then slowly adding the things that are important for you to spend later on. But the last thing I wanted to say is that the thing to know about this is there definitely is an adjustment period. I would say it took me about 2 weeks. It sucked, honestly. The first 2 weeks, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be pretty straight with you. I really hated it at first. I was pretty excited about it, but the way that it made it better for me was on week 2, I set a goal of what I wanted to spend the money I saved with, and so I ended up saving it for a trip to Puerto Rico with my boyfriend, which is absolutely amazing. I have lots of pictures of it all over my Instagram, so if you don't follow me, follow me below because you'll see all of the photos I'm posting constantly from it. But having the goal made it so much more worth it because then you knew why the trade-off of what you were doing. So it was kind of like a fun game versus it just like suffering the whole time. So that was one thing I learned at that 2 week part. And then I also just became more adjusted to my social circle and finding different ways and getting used to the bus routes. But after about 2 weeks, you actually get really settled into it. And so it's amazing that you can actually curb your lifestyle so much to be saving money and then also not have that much of like pain coming with that while also saving money for things that matter more to you. And so hopefully this was all helpful. Comment below if you end up deciding doing something like this. I really highly recommend it. It's fun. I would say do it with some friends. Make it a challenge that you guys do together because that'll help with your social circle. But it's a lot of fun and hopefully you guys find this helpful and hope you have a great day.